You received a call from an inmate at the Department of Corrections. This call will be recorded and monitored.
Well, 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 as I live and breathe, little Miss Yellow Mellow. How is life out there in our alternative prison? You ready to go back to the main prison? Oh my goodness, girl, what is going on over there? Well, okay, yeah, I see. You are not a child and you think they're treating you as one. Oh, you know they're treating you as one. Well, la-di-da. Okay, well, you have to look at who you're working around. That staff was trained to work with teenagers. Well, consider it a blessing to get an opportunity to get away from the prison. Over there, at least you get to meet people from a bygone era. You really didn't get a chance to grow up, to have a childhood. Yeah, I understand. And yeah, there's a lot of... Well, it's a big change in your life. You commit a crime, you go to prison as a teen, and then you're forced to grow up. And, well, yeah, and, the stuff that's going on in prisons now, it's tough. I mean, you're around people that are still growing. And yeah, they're guilty of murder and sex offenses and other violent crimes and, theft, drugs. But they're growing and they're children and they need guidance like you. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to agree with that. Being back in that prison, yes, you're going to be a tougher person. You've grown a lot. You've learned a lot. Yet, it's prison. There is nothing good about prison. And if you have a chance to get away, why not jump on that wagon? Why not take full advantage of it? Oh, yeah. Well, okay. You are limited on the contact that you have with people in the outside world. I get that. So I will, I'll see what I can do to kind of extend your friendship, shall we say. Get you out there and meet more people. It's just that I want you to really think about this stuff. Talk to the counselors. Talk to your friends over there. Especially talk to your family. Do you think going back to prison is the best bet for you right now? Well, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess getting into schooling is definitely a plus. And so I'm not gonna. Yeah, yeah. That goes into column A. That's the good stuff. You can extend your education, and with the new laws and stuff, maybe if we can knock some of that time off.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we'll go with. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely speak with the staff members over there and some of the prison officials and stuff, and kind of give you another view on what's going on in there.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Yes. Okay, I'm 100% for that. So go ahead, sit back, relax, enjoy your moment because it might not last too much longer. Okay, goodbye. All right, I'm Joel Wilborn, and welcome to another edition of a QS Inmate Call. And we had Miss Melody Vick on the phone. She's at an alternative prison where she's surrounded by juveniles, mostly teenagers. Now, when she went in, she was just a little rebel. And even though she is in her mid-20s, she was acting very much like a little troublesome teenager. So she went to this alternative center, and they started treating her like a child. You act like one, you get treated like one. So it's nice to see that development, see how she's grown. But she's getting a little tired, and she's ready to go back to the prison. And I think that's a good thing in a way, too, because being in the prison around adults, she gets the chance to pick up what she's learned. And she feels that, she's been there long enough, she's learned enough, and she's ready to go back. And if she goes back and things don't work out, she'll appreciate what she left. And that could be a very big lesson for her. Because out here in the real world, we don't always get what we want. Aren't always treated the way we want to be treated. A lot of times, we're treated very badly. And we have to deal with that. Just a part of growing up. And Mellow is one of those people who needs some of that tough love. She's not too far away from getting out on her own and going back. And I hope we can give her the support that she needs. We can rally the family, rally her friends. I don't know about the other people in prison, if they're going to treat her any differently. But one of the things that I've been dealing with here lately is women in prison. To me, that makes me very nervous. And I guess there's certain people in society that can say that women and men are equal and should be treated as such. And others say that women and men are different and need to be treated as such. I'm one of those that believes that a woman locked behind bars isn't going to be as big a threat as a male. I know they're capable of killing a person. I know they're capable of assault and escape, but that's not something we think of in society. We don't think of these folks as shooting up a department store and then getting in prison and just causing a ruckus and riots and stuff. A lot of times you really don't hear a lot about female prisons. I know there's a TV series on cable and internet that depicts female prisons. And unless you've really been in a female prison, you don't know what it's like. But we hear horror stories because prisoners are legal slaves. And prison officials can get away with a whole lot more than they can at a private institution. If a girl goes to camp for rehabilitation or training or something, and she's mistreated by the staff, there could be repercussions. In a prison, they just hide it. And I've seen that firsthand. I've discovered some stuff that occur within prison and even reported them on my YouTube channel. But the prison officials will it's almost like they're a broken record. They'll just keep saying the same thing. Everything's fine. We're doing the best we can. Pretty much mind your own business. And we've given the prisons a little bit too much freedom in that part. The male prisons, when they go in there, they expect that. I haven't really talked to any current male prisoner or former male prisoner that walks out and says, I expected to be treated with kid gloves. I expected them to put me in my own cell, give me a color TV, allow me to sleep in. None of them say that. They expect to be harshly treated. And for the most part, they accept that. But the females, they have a close bond with their family. A lot of these females, they're parents. And they really miss their family. They're just by nature very family oriented. And being locked away like that is especially hard on them. And as males, we're taught to be separated from our family on occasion. We go to war, we'll go out to work every day, and that role, it is changing. But you got to understand that not every female changes with that. They're all different. We have to go on a case-by-case basis on this. So to think that a female prison should be treated like a male prison, to me, they have a little more, or they should get a little more privacy. And they shouldn't have to go without certain medical needs. The cases where pregnant women are shackled to their bed to give birth, or shackled to the cot or something. That to me doesn't make any sense. And plus, a male isn't likely going to get a new family while in prison, but a female, if something happens, she could wind up getting pregnant and having a child. The child could survive, the child may not. And we as the public, we don't hear about that very often. So that's why I like to talk with people who are incarcerated so I can get an inside scoop about what's going on. I'm not going to turn on the news and hear that a prison is reporting somebody that committed suicide or gave birth or passed out and was denied medical attention for hours. I'm not going to hear that stuff from the prison, but I will hear it from the people who are locked up in there. They'll call me up and they'll tell me these things. And when you're in constant contact with them, you'll get stories you didn't even know existed inside the prison. We're not going to get them any other way. I've asked prisons to explain their actions and they just ignore it because it's not important to them. Anything that's important, they'll discuss, they'll work out. Anything they don't consider important, they won't. It's just a fact of life. We need people to keep an eye on this. We need people to speak out for those who are unable to speak out and those who are being suppressed. And it happens constantly in these prisons. You can see instances where people are going through a change in their life. They could be a transgender person going through the change and then be put through some crazy stuff. Or, as we mentioned before, a pregnant person could go in there, and what's going to happen for the child who, as far as I know, did not commit a crime and shouldn't even be in prison, but will end up there. And, when you take a person away from her children and you lock her up, and then you take the children and you put them in foster care or with another relative, that's a big change in this person's life. How does that affect them down the line? And if you mistreat a person inside prison, what's going to happen when that person walks outside prison? You could sit here and say, you've committed this crime, so you deserve everything that happens to you while you're in prison. And then 2 years after you say that, these people who have suffered some traumatic experiences are moving in next to you. And you may know that this person got out of prison, you may not know. And then it would be a shame to find out later that there was so much trauma that resulted from abuse inside the prison that this person wound up snapping, just couldn't take it, and wasn't given the proper medical attention and did something that was just bad. And then we're going to blame the person rather than the prison. Can a prison do something to help prevent all this from happening? Should a prison do something like that? If we're going to lock people up, we can't forget about them. We've got to understand that they need to come out of prison as a better person, a healthier person, a more stable person, a person who can get a job, a person who's willing to pay back the victims and the victim's family. We need this to come out of prison. So there has to be a change. I don't think the prisons are all messed up. I just think we're not following the proper procedure. We're not following the rules. So I hope when people do transfer around out there, it's for the good. Now, if you want to hear directly from incarcerated people, just tune to my YouTube channel. And you can go to AmericanQuitInSociety.org, and you can go to the Oxyword tab, and you can look up some people in there. Just kind of read the little brief synopsis and click on one of them. Take a look at the video and find out what really goes on inside those prisons. And if we want to stop crime, we need to destroy the source. And poverty, drug addiction, mental capacity, maybe just an abusive relationship. A lot of these things are what's causing some of these crimes, and these things can be prevented. Look for people who assist in domestic violence and drug addiction, homelessness. And we can do it. If we work together, we can do it. So go out, have yourself a wonderful day, and make beautiful memories for tomorrow.